Alright, we have the red Angmar player Smaug versus the blue Elven player Mrs. Smaug. Mrs. Smaug is the world champion of 2019-2020, but since 2021 there is a little bit more competition in the scene. So unfortunately some of them left us. Imperialists left the Rise of the Witch King competition scene, and also Irby left. They used to be very great players, but we have now ROTWK, we have now Sauron. They are also very good, especially Sauron. For the fact that he doesn't play that much anymore, he still comes and wins almost every single time. We might see a rematch between Mrs. Smaug and Sauron in this tournament. We might also see a game between Mrs. Smaug and ROTWK, or ROTWK against Sauron. These games are going to be quite interesting to see, because some of them have a great amount of experience in the beta, and some of them don't. For example, ROTWK just downloaded the latest beta yesterday, and his first games were actually in the tournament, but yet he was able to win. We have 2 Malone trees into the barracks, into the 3rd Malone tree. On the other side, we see 2 3 mills into the Hall of the Kingsmen coming up for the Angmar player Smaug. I mean, this matchup, I believe is kind of good for Angmar. It's definitely winnable, because Angmar is one of the only, if not the only faction which can go straight up, you know, army against elves, because you have a magical weapon, and that's Felwind. And you remember, the Elven strength is coming from the archer spam. And Angmar likes to fight against clumped armies, while elves like to clump. So you are countering that kind of thing. With your Felwind longshot combination, you can mess up and kill almost every single Lorien archer, every single Mirkwood archer in the mid to late game, but we need to get to this point. Angmar has also very cheap and efficient heroes like Mordor, who can give you pillage, who can give you leadership, and also the chance to summon more reinforcements. Elven play opening with a pikeman, and he's gonna creep this one first. And Gundabats are moving on, but it looks like they want to hack the bottom area. So this creep is not going to be contested anytime soon. I mean, you need to kind of make a choice, and this right, nah, never mind, he's going to move through the middle actually. You need to make a choice. The choice you need to make is, are you going to go for a spam, or are you going to look for improvement of your Hall of the Kingsmen early mid game? A spam is going to be helpful, definitely, but I don't think spam is going to be the key to victory against elves, you know? Because he can just spam archers and defend himself regardless. Age of Mythology soundtrack? Yes, sir. Alright, the creep is gonna be kind of, you know, left alone for now. The pikemen, they got damaged big time. Archers. Earl, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Let's see who's gonna get the creep, or who's gonna get the money. That's gonna be the most important part. I mean, every fight is happening around this area right now. And the money...
I will represent the men of Gondor.
Oh, lucky drop for Smaug. He will be able to get all the money. Pilia, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Okay, so the fight is going to be definitely won by archers. Archers are just so important in those games. And Patrician, thanks for the subbing for the first time with the tier 1. Appreciate it, really means a lot.
I will represent the men of Gondor.
Superior, thanks for the follow, appreciate it.
Welcome to Beyond Standards crew.
Thank you very much. Ukraine will keep winning, Russia will lose a lot of conscripts and will make a threat of nuking a city of power. Yeah, but I don't think there is gonna be a nuclear war. I hope not, at least, you know. But that's the war we are living in. We don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. And Einstein told it, you know. He said, I don't know which weapons they will be using for the 3rd World War, but I know in the 4th World War they will use swords and bows again. So we're gonna return and get demoted to the Middle Earth, because the destruction power is kind of immense, you know. And especially in Ukraine, Russia, Ukraine is actually very close to Europe, but you know, nuking Ukraine is gonna also hurt and damage Russia itself because of the wind. You know, the wind is gonna get all these chemicals to Russia. So it's I don't know, we will just wait and see. Big push is incoming, pikemen, Lorien warriors. The mill is gonna be cancelled to get the full money back. We have a second Hall of the Kingsmen, but no Wolf Den for the Wolf Riders. Wolf Riders could be definitely good to trample down those Lorien archers and Lorien warriors. In the meantime, Smaug is gonna be able to creep this uncontested. The stable is up on the field now for Smaug. They have like very similar names. It's very hard for me, you know, to see the difference. Hello, Malok, welcome. The mill is gonna be taken down. The fight is looking good for Elves. The rallying call advantage is massive. Stone and sticks, yeah. I mean, basically, Like stones are pretty much arrows and sticks are swords, you know, like a basic form of that. After the first couple of minutes into the game, we can see the Elven player Mr. Smog is up to 450 command points. He has nearly 5 power points in the bank after the rallying call, which was recently used. He's clumping again very nicely on this mill, which is almost level 2, but I think it's going to be taken down. The Lothian warriors are dealing a great amount of damage with it. And yeah, the good thing about this situation for Elves is also that he has the chance to disengage. The Elven units, the infantry units are very, very mobile. They can always run away when they want to. And Smaug, the Angmar player, is dropping down to 400 command points only. He is far away from getting to the point in which he can upgrade one of the Hall of the Kingsmen to level 2 to recruit some Black Numenorians, which got actually like a rework. So they are now officially the most expensive swordmen in the game. They cost more than every other unit. In the previous versions of the game, there were 3 swordmen which cost you the same money. Like Numenorians, Urukai, and also the half-troll swordmen. They used to all cost 400. But now with a swordman who costs you 500, but they changed the death mass, so now it's available way sooner. That means you can debuff the enemy units, and that officially makes them also to the strongest swordman in a one-on-one situation. The debuff they get, the charge attack they get, makes them have debuff and buff in their own kit, you know, making them extremely efficient. But again, they are swordmen. Unlike half-troll swordmen, they can get trampled down, so they are still getting countered by cavalry big time. Big push is incoming from Mr. Smog. He's looking for the win, while Smaug is still busy creeping. Army is getting outscaled pretty hard, you know. Archers, they are slaughtering everything, and there comes the first GG in the first game. Smaug is calling it, and the first game goes to Mr. Smog. We have the Mordor player Smog against the Elven player Smaug. Again, good against evil matchup. Elves and Mordor. Galadriel and Sauron. 2 slaughterhouses. Coming up for Smoky, he's gonna use the Eye of Sauron to scout. I see you on your face. He will be able to spot the, not Lammermill, Malon tree and the barracks. So the 3rd Malon tree is gonna come right after. And we will have a tavern opening, which is very, it happens almost every single time. Hey Sarah, welcome. Dion. So Corsairs of Umbar are going to be recruited, and we might see some pikemen. I mean, Corsairs are actually kind of countering the Elven faction a lot, because the firebombs, they deal like bonus damage to the Malon trees. So you can firebomb them a little bit, and then they will keep burning all the time, you know? And you can damage them very, very effectively this way. And we will have Lothian warriors opening. Corsairs, they cost now 350. Actually quite cost efficient units. Because keep in mind that in the version 8.5, in order to recruit them, you had to build your Haradrim Palace and get it to level 2. And also keep in mind that when you build multiple taverns, you get cheaper Corsairs. And there comes the tavern unit. You see? Missing control bar. And also Rallying Call is still misleading. Warchan is misleading. Eye of Sauron is misleading. They got all changed. All of them. I believe the Eye of Sauron now gives you only 25% damage and armor. And the Rallying Call gives you like 30 or 35 or 40. I'm not sure. Okay. Orc Pit coming up. Now, Haradrim Palace coming up next. So no spam at all. He's gonna go for the quality over quantity. I mean, the Lothian warrior, if you kind of are smart, you can actually achieve a lot. Just clump. Rallying Call to boost the damage and just focus on the buildings. Don't even bother fighting. The firebombs have now cooldowns. Very smart move from Smaug to step aside. There comes the Rallying Call. They just focus on the buildings. You don't need to fight against the Corsairs. And he's gonna kill a couple of them. The battalion is coming from the bottom side. I don't even know who's gonna win the 1v1 situation. Corsairs or the Lothian warriors. We will find out. There comes the firebomb. You see the fire on the ground will damage the Malon tree. So you need to build now. Hit them with Elven Blades. Okay, Malon tree has been taken down. Haradrim Palace level 2 for the Haradrim Lancers to trample down the Lothian warriors. And we will have very soon some Lances from the Elven faction too. Oh, if we can get this one down. Oh, nice clumping from Smaug. Look the damage output with the Rallying Call aggressive stance combination. They are chunking it like 4 times. And that's it. Like, that's a very great opening into the game number 2 from Smaug, and he needed that. He really needed that because he is down 1-0 in the best of 5. Now we have the Eye of Sauron available once again. Rallying Call is still on cooldown. And let's see. There comes the Eye of Sauron into the fire bombs. It chunks the building, but that's initial chunking. It damages... Look, this Malon tree burned. Got distracted. But what happened to the fire on the ground now? What happened to the fire on the ground? Huh? I'm very confused right now. What happened? That's very interesting. I don't even know what happened there. They've also pillaged, by the way. So it's basically a Wildman of Dunland unit with fire bombs. And also hard countering the pikemen. Pro Slice with 8 months. Thank you, Pro Slice. Really means a lot. Thank you, good sir.
Pro_Slice just resubscribed for 8 months. Ahoy.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Kangaroo, because he's from Australia. Beautiful trample, but it's too late. But sometimes it burns, it keeps burning, and sometimes it disappears after like 2 seconds. It's very random, I believe. 350 command points against 350. But you know, the pressure is definitely on the Elven player. He's in a defensive formation, which will give Smaug the time to expand. He might even go for the level 3 because he's playing without Orc Pit. He gets only expensive units on the field. Easterlings, Corsairs, Lancers. The Malon tree is gonna be taken down too. Kill it! Kill the horses! It's too late. They're almost level 2, almost, but not close is not close enough, you know? They need to be level 2 for the respawn. Okay. We have 5 power points in the bank for Smaug and 4 power points in the bank for Smoky. Holy moly. Is the Shanks? Hey man, crazy hunter, glad to see you around. Yeah, I'm back in the business. You know, it's kind of rough for me right now to be on my PC because of multiple reasons. But we have a tournament right now. We started yesterday evening. That's the game number 2, the set number 2 in the tournament. We have still a couple of games to go, and then we're gonna be able to jump into the semi-finals, grand finals. So the following days should be quite active. Okay, creeping, that's good. He will need the money. Smaug might be able to steal it. Is he able to see it? I don't know. I don't think so. The counter push is happening. Only 1 pikeman to damage the buildings. 1 lancer remains, but he can't respawn. You need the Orc Pit for the banner upgrade if you want to get it to level 2. I think Smaug was able to get the money too. So this game is open, and everything can still happen. If you want to counter the Haradrim Lancers, you can also recruit some of your Lindens, horse archers, you know? They are pretty good to counter enemy cavalry. I can imagine the little one is keeping you busy, very true. I have 2 little ones. One of them just turned 4 years a few days ago, and my son is now 3 months old. And my wife is kind of not able to take care of both of them at the same time, so I need to help her out a little bit, you know? The well is coming up for the regeneration. 500 command points versus 450. And we have also a bet with my wife. So me and my wife made a bet when my son got born. I said his first word is gonna be daddy. And she said no, it's gonna be mommy. So I am trying to teach my son, talking in his ears, talking in his brain, that the very first word he's gonna lose out of his, you know, get out of his mouth is going to be daddy, you know? Hey. Hey Net, welcome. Okay. Exclamation mark tourney to see the games. 500 command points against 475. There is a level 2. That's the only level 2 he has, right? Yeah. So if he can destroy this, if Smaug can destroy that, actually it's gonna be quite big. In the meantime, this Malon tree is gonna be taken down. Rally Warten has been used defensively. Don't trample into that. Just bail. Just run for your life. You are fast enough to disengage. You don't have to fight. This one is going to be defended, but unfortunately for Smaug, the Malon tree has been taken down already. We have 0 heroes on the field. I believe In this situation, Glorfindel might be a great hero. Haldir is always a reliable hero because, you know, you can even scale him into the late game with the Golden Arrow. And for Mordor, it can be, of course, Mouth of Sauron to chase down the Lancers. Or even something like Gothmog could be nice. Even though Gothmog doesn't make too much sense at this point, because the Mordor players legit playing without orcs. There are 0 orcs on the field. 0. First ward should be like a track. It's too long. That's gonna be a second ward. Well, we have the first hero final on the field, Haldir. Just gotta make sure to keep him with the archers. That's very important. Like when you keep him with the Lothian archers, he can level up so fast and so quickly, you know? Statue is coming up for leadership. There comes the fire bombs. Rallying call has been used, but you need to step aside. Look at the amount of damage they are taking. They are literally getting... What? He lost a full battalion with the rallying call to 1 firebomb. Mist is being used to debuff. Length has been used for the buff. But with the mist, they nullify the enemy leadership bonuses and also reduce their amount of damage and armor. And around the statue, you have also more DPS. So it's a bad fight to take for Smok. He's just getting crushed in this situation. Level 4 already for Haldir from one single fight. The Lancers are forced to disengage. We have one more pikeman coming. And I believe now the Elven player should be able to defend himself. He's also creeping at the same time, which is very important. But the only bad thing for Elves is that in the meantime, the Mordor player is pretty much untouched. He has also the upgrade on the fortress for cheaper heroes, and he will definitely recruit some heroes by himself very soon. He went for all the 5 power points from the spellbook. Vorchan, Tainted Land and Eye of Sauron. He has 2 power points after that. And the Elven player went straight to the Mist, which is actually good, because what it will do is it will lead you later on to the Eagle Ally special summon. So when 10 more power points are collected, you can go for the Eagles, which can be essential to win this game, because there is 0 on the field for Smok that can deal damage to the Eagles. Only level 3 buildings can do that, only Fortress can do that. With the Eagles, you can wipe out the army and take down the structures pretty quickly. The Elven player is running for his life. The Eye is still active on the field, and there comes the counter commitment. The Easterlings, they won't be there on time if he clumps nicely and attacks it. Remember, Smaug is the host player of this game, because Mrs. Smaug is using the delay fix. So basically, everything for Smaug should listen, you know, in a second. There should be no delay. Which makes the cavalry way more impactful, because it gives you the chance to micro them around the settlement. You can run around, you know, dance around the Rosie and keep dodging the pikemen all the time. And also he's creeping the trolley in the middle of the map, getting this way more and more power points collected. 675 command points versus 575. Mordor is definitely, you know, kind of falling apart, because he doesn't make any transition into any heroes or into any archers. And again, in late game, archers are essential. He went for the Gothmog, but Gothmog doesn't make too much sense, because his leadership is only working on the orcs. So he doesn't give leadership to the Easterlings, not to the Corsairs, not to the Haradrims, you know. So going for the Gothmog without orcs is kind of questionable. I believe Mouth of Sauron would be a much better choice. And Haldir is also level 5 by now, by the way. You can see them glowing. Yeah, he's level 5 for leadership. We have also Glorfindel on the field as the second hero. And there comes the first tower in the middle of the map. The towers are very impactful, especially when you put archers inside of it. And you put like a pikeman in front of it, you know, to block the damage of the pikeman. But that's a great push. The Malon tree is going to be crushed. Glorfindel has to be careful. One trample into the pikeman and you will lose him. The amount of damage he will take from the pikeman is kind of crazy. You see the damage he's receiving? Yeah, that's exactly what I mean, dude. Like, you cannot do this. You want to get dismounted. Can he take down the level 2? That's going to be important. Gothmog is leveling up to level 2. He has now the Fury, which gives him the chance to 1v1 this Haldir, no problemo. The slaughterhouse has been taken down. Haldir is almost level 7. That's becoming more dangerous because level 8 unlocks his golden arrow. But keep in mind that Gothmog's Iron Hand will grant the allied units around him the fear resistance, which kind of blocks the intention of the golden arrow staff. He went for the heal, which will slow him down a little bit, so his eagles are going to be a bit delayed. And Mordor went for the industry. So industry has been used on this slaughterhouse. Luckily for Mordor, he will grow rich, pretty much. Haldir is running for his life. He's quite fast, and there is 0% chance to chase him down. Too many horses just to body block, but he's losing a lot of them. And losing horses will grant your opponent so many power points. Beautiful trample. And Tower has been literally one-shotted. Gothmog is going into Tomato Gothmog. He's almost level 5. Haldir is also level 7. Elven player is kind of falling apart a little bit. Mist is available for the second time. 8 power points in the bank, 4 power points, and 700 command points available for Smog. I mean, Smog is looking pretty strong. I don't know why people are not making the transition into some stronger archers. Like, I'm telling you, Mirkwood archers could be so good at this point, you know what I mean? With double buff, the rallying call into leadership from Haldir, they will hit like a truck, and they will kind of crush the Corsairs before they even get the chance to shoot at you with the firebombs. Okay. Getting closer to level 8 though. But Gothmog is kind of bullying him. You want to kill Gothmog, don't die. You have heal on cooldown, don't lose him. Shoot him now, Haldir should be just shooting at him. Just shoot him. He's very low, and if you shoot at him with Haldir all the time, you will kill him. He's level 5 now, by the way. That's gonna block the golden arrow, but if he dies, it's gonna be a different story. He needs to run for his life. But Haldir keeps shooting. Can Haldir finish him off? One more shot? Yeah, and he got level 8 out of that. That's very good. Now the fear resistant hero is gone, and you have now your golden arrow. That means no counterplay to that. You can stun them for multiple seconds, which is normally enough to win you the fight.
Over here, Elves.
Okay, so we have 625 command points versus 700 command points, but the Elven player is very close to them, 15. And again, there are 0 archers on the field for Smoky. He went now for Mouth of Sauron, he's level 1 only. He will definitely need some time to be effective, to be useful, but Daupt is just very, very powerful. That's always a leadership army against no leadership army. But he needs... There comes the golden arrow. Yeah, you see? Stun. But he stunned them a little bit too late. Glorfindel is back on the menu too. I believe in a one-on-one situation, Glorfindel should be able to beat Mouth of Sauron, especially with the Blade of Purity, but keep in mind that you cannot use this when you are mounted. You need to be dismounted. Uh-oh, there comes the Mouth of Sauron into the trample, into the backline. The first levels are quite easy to get, and level 4 is a massive upgrade for the Mordor army. He's level 2 already. Haldir is fighting against him, but oh my goodness, he's chunking him a lot actually. No pikemen around. I cannot believe it. You need pikemen, man. That's like a bad dream for the Mouth of Sauron. He can keep doing this all the day, all the time. You need pikemen. He's pushing with a squad from the top side, but I don't know if this is effective. I think he made a mistake with the Lancers, you know.
I will represent the men of Gondor.
Code Ifa, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Just use the Lancers to hurt the economy from Mordor. Mordor is growing pretty much rich, but now we have a point. Oh, he went for the level 3. He's going for the Haradrim Archers. Okay, that's very important, because the Eagles are gonna smash you otherwise.
You have my sword.
Lord, thanks for the follow, appreciate that. 15 power points almost in the bank for Mordor, which will lead him to the Worm special summon. The Worm, imagine Worm here, for example, right? You can kill the level 2 Malon tree, you can kill the barracks, you can kill this barracks, you can kill this one. Like, the Worm is so good when it comes to destroying, I can't even talk, destroying the enemy structures. The Eagle summon will be used. He was able to kill this slaughterhouse. He's trying to kill the level 3 Haradrim Palace, which is not the greatest idea of all time. It's quite tanky. Power's coming up, and he will maybe be able to destroy it, but I think you should be trying to focus down the resource buildings instead. When there is a slaughterhouse with industry on it, that should be your primary target. The slaughterhouse has been finally taken down. And also Haradrim Palace is going down, and I believe none of the Haradrim Lancers could make it out. Now if you can destroy this level 2 as well, it's gonna be massive. The Eagles are chunking the building a lot with the aggressive stance. And one more hit is needed, and that's a great summon. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. In the meantime, the Worm is being used as a counter to this Eagles, but the Worm is kind of idle. It's chilling, doing nothing. He's going to be repositioned on the archers. They have leadership, boom, they are getting knocked down, but the Worm is going to be taken down. Okay. It's a very great situation for the Elven player. He was able to deal so much economical damage, and in addition to that, he was able to destroy the level 3 Haradrim Palace before any Haradrim archer could make it out of it. The mist is being used. It's a bad move to fight, but the firebombs on the ground, you can see the pikes are getting melted. Taffy, thanks for the follow, appreciate that. All game no Mirkwoods, all game with only barracks level 1, no transition into any level 2 building, including the stables. I'm telling you, even Linden's could be a nice choice. The Warchan is going to be used, the Malon tree is getting smashed. Level almost 6 Gothmog, the Golden Arrow is going to be negated. He's tanking, but you don't even need to bother using Golden Arrow now, because it will be useless. I mean, it still deals damage, don't get me wrong, but you see, he just used it, but the units keep moving. That's why in many situations, look, Gothmog is taking care of Glorfindel. Glorfindel, the hero who used to slay the other Gothmog, the Lord of the Balrogs, but this small tomato Gothmog is taking the revenge. The Hero Slayer, level almost 7. Freddy Krueger design. Okay, level 5, almost Mouth of Sauron. Unfortunately for him, he lost the Glorfindel for a second time. Haldir is still remaining, but the Golden Arrow was kind of useless. Pointless to be used. Gothmog is here. Arwen, maybe Arwen can take care of him. Woman power. Arwen, do it. Oh, she got like 2 full levels out of that. That's very good. Level 6 unlocks the Flood, but Flood got nerfed a lot actually. It used to be crazily OP in the version 8.3, I believe, in which Mustafa was spamming it all the time. And it was so rigged because the revive time of Arwen was literally shorter than the reload time of the Flood, you know. And what he was doing is he was using Flood inting, so intentionally dying with Arwen, reviving her, and you could use this way the Flood over and over again. And it would deal massive damage to Balrog and to level 3 buildings too. It would one-shot level 3 resource buildings by itself. Haldir is drawing the sword. Pikeman, that means this guy has to avoid fighting. He's gonna debuff them. The Black Orcs are here though. Black Orcs, again, keep in mind, once you go black, you never go back. He's overcommitting now. The debuff is coming in clutch, nerfing the damage from this, you know, Pikeman a lot. And Haldir might be in trouble, because Mouth of Sauron is gonna be able to catch to him. He needs some backup. He's fast, but not fast enough. And this dude is chunking him. If he kills him, that's gonna unlock eventually the Evil Eye. It's a level 8, almost level 9 Haldir. Does he have heal from the spellbook? The answer is no. He was pressing S to move a little bit, but there is 0 pikemen. I mean, the pikeman that is coming, he's gonna use the barricades, and the barricade is gonna be able to finish him off. It's shooting at him. Oh, keep moving. Oh no. Actually, it's bad for Smoky. It's bad because I wish he would get the kill with this dude, you know, to get the experience, but it's fine. Okay, see, 760 command points versus 750. The command points department is looking pretty even, but keep in mind that the Elven faction is the only faction with 0 money boosting abilities. That means Mordor is gonna be definitely richer in compared to Elves because he has industry. But from the PowerPoint itself, we can see that Elven players are a little bit closer to the 25 PowerPoint. So the Flood can be massive. Even though the layout is not perfect for the Flood, but you can still use it this way, still deal a great amount of damage. He's getting dismounted. Arwen against Mouth of Sauron. She has Atelas. She should be using it. Atelas is going to be used. Cloud Break to stun them. He went for the Cloud Break for no reason, in my opinion. We're just trying to go for the 25, because Sunflare might even also be a great choice. Going for the Cloud Break against a faction which has now the Fear Resistant doesn't seem to be a great choice, in my opinion. Arwen? Okay, be careful. Nice beat from Smog, but Smog was paying attention. The barricade is getting damaged, but it will be good for now. The Mirkwoods are finally being recruited. I mean, they are, in my opinion, 10 minutes too late. They should be coming out way sooner, and they can dominate the fights. But you need to make sure to get enough pikemen to protect them. There comes the rallying call, a war chant. Black Orcs are able to chunk the buildings too, including a level 2 barracks. The mist is gonna make them a bit weaker. They will lose a great amount of their damage output. The statue is gonna be the first target, and now the Black Orcs are gonna be able to commit to the statue. There comes Haldir, who can stun them, because the Gothmog is not nearby and he gotta stun them. He needs to stop them from attacking this building. There comes the stun. Mouth of Sauron is stabbing this, and Haldir is gonna look for his revenge. The Mirkwood is gonna make it out of the barracks. This dude is gonna run for his life, but can Haldir finish him off? Haldir doesn't deal too much damage to him. He seems to be quite tanky with 3600 HP. 5 power points in the bank, and we have 12 power points in the bank for Smog. So Smog is only 13 power points away from the 25. The Black Orcs, they are still remaining on the field, keep attacking and dealing damage to the Elven barracks level 2. Mouth of Sauron is here level 5. Another Malon tree is going to be destroyed. Ah, never mind, never mind. One more trample, do it! Okay, close but not close enough. But there is another force coming. The economy advantage is coming in clutch. I mean, the Mordor player is legit able to outspam his opponent big time. He has 2 heroes, he's towering up 2 now. Multiple untouched slaughterhouses everywhere. I mean, he has only 1 Mirkwood. He also lost his barracks level 2. And now the commitment against the fortress, really? He's gonna doubt them, you know, debuff them. Too many units. He's not going for the fortress, he wanna just take down every single building. The barrage is coming in clutch. And that's, my dear friends, is how you wanna use the barrage. Just focus, like kind of force your opponent to be in one location for a defensive situation. And once he's camping in one single spot, then you use your barrage to damage not only the units but also the buildings around it. Haldir is gonna be eventually taken down. He's not able to fight this, and the Elven player is falling completely apart. He has barely any units on the field. The economy from Mordor has been untouched for the last minutes, and that's not the way you want to play against Mordor. Mordor is
represent the men
so
of
strong,
Gondor.
it will keep scaling all the time. Abraham, thanks for the follow, appreciate that. Mekata Snoop. He doesn't need catapults.
Represent the men of Gondor.
Seigo, thanks for the follow, appreciate it too. And yeah, I mean, it was a good game, but I think the PowerPoint choice was a little bit of a mistake. He's gonna demolish everything, he's gonna call it, and that's gonna be the end of the game number 2. So Smoky is playing the Elven faction, and Smok is playing the Angmar faction at the bottom side of the map. Jungles of Farharat. It's a pretty big map, you know, with a lot of potential. You can even go for more like multiple resource buildings in this game. Definitely doable, definitely possible. And here we go. 2 Malone trees coming up, 2 mills coming up. I wouldn't even mind buying it again, but you cannot buy it. That's the problem. The game's got abandoned long time ago. And I mean, you can buy it, but you need to buy it in a second-hand version. And I'm assuming that you don't want to pay like 80 bucks for a game which is 20 years old, you know? Doesn't make too much sense. I mean, you can download them for free nowadays from the internet, because nobody has the rights anymore on these games. EA Games lost the rights. 3 Malone trees and no production building yet. Where is the second builder? I don't see the second builder. Am I blind? I'm blind, yeah. I cannot see him. I see one builder here, but I don't know where the other dude is. He's coming for the offensive barrack situation at the bottom left side of the map. I mean, that's something you can do as well. It's like a risky situation though, because you can put pressure on him, yeah, but you have 0 defense around your own side. It means if the Angmar player is sending like 1 unit forward, he can legit destroy every single one of your Malone trees. Easily. So this has to work out. This has to put enough pressure on him for him to stay around this area. So it's gonna be an economical opening. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mills before the first Hall of the Kingsman. He will get money, but on the other side though, he will have 0 units on the field by the time the pikemen are coming out. So it looks like Smok is gonna be creeping this one first, because you can see the banner. He's gonna send them straight to this creep. And that's like a very, how can I say? That's like a very OG playstyle. Get a pikeman, creep with the pikeman, and go for Lorien warriors next, and go for the push. Hi Eternal. What's up, my friends? How are you doing? You was getting a little bit tilted yesterday in the games, right? Okay, he's gonna be building up a stable here. Smoky getting inside the jeans, yeah. Smoky. We have still 2 games left. We will, later today, we will have the games between Sauron and Mustafa, and also the games between ROTWK and Maru. He's gonna creep this. Another Malone tree coming up offensively. Angmar is kind of growing rich though. Like, Angmar has like multiple mills untouched for now. In total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mills. You see 1, 2, 3, 4 Malone trees, 5 Malone trees, and now the Malone tree number 6 is gonna come up around this spot. But the first push is gonna happen. What you need here, he's gonna go for the level 2. You wanna go for the hill trolls eventually, or for the snow trolls. He's waiting patiently with the Trollmaster, which is pretty okay. you cannot turn them into the Wolf Riders yet. Wolf Riders are gonna be the worst choice. What you need are extrovers and also Gundabad Orcs. That's what you need. Steeple, into level 2, into the Lindens. So now the question is, how are the Snow Trolls gonna perform against the Lindens? That's a situation I've not seen too many times. He's going for the Snow Trolls, which are the most expensive cavalry unit in the game. They're also very unique, because that's the only cavalry in the game who has a charge attack, you know, who can charge you down a little bit. Warchan is gonna be used defensively with an Archer, Pikeman and Swordman. Literally one out of every kind. The mill is gonna be the first target, he's gonna be able to destroy it. We will get more and more reinforcements from this group. And there is only one pikeman. So all the Angmar play has to do is kill the one pikeman with the extrovers, and then the Snow Trolls can clean up the rest. The Lindens are coming. There are no pikemen around, and Lindens are also able to trample you. The pikemen are gone. Very smart move from Smaug. Because the... Oh, that's gonna be juicy now. Watch this. 0 pikemen, that's gonna be a big punishment. He's splitting them. Very smart move from Smaug. Because he knows it's gonna be doomed now. And the second they get level 2, they unlock the charge attack. One more trample. The Lindens are actually damaging them quite decently, but they are still able to fight them in a melee fight. The most impressive part about them though, is that they are acting like a battle wagon with the Men of Steel. They can keep shooting while they're running. That's the one thing you should not do. That's the one thing you have to avoid. And Lindens are kind of crazy against Snow Trolls too. That's busted. This might be actually a very quick game, because look the situation about this game number 3. So he's literally camping now in front of the buildings. And it means the second the units are coming out, they will get shot in the face. You know? He's going for one more Snow Troll. The mill is going to be taken down. Luckily for Smaug, he's getting some money from the map. But it's still not a good situation for him. One archer was able to survive. He's shooting the builder, who's gonna get in safety. I mean, oh god. This is... Dude, I don't know about Snow Trolls though. Because it's gonna be a 1v3 situation. 3 Lindens, I'm assuming that they will be able to slaughter them in a few seconds. Some pikemen on the field too. I mean, the pikemen, they should be just perma-chasing down those Lindens. But what is the counterplay to that? When you play Angmar, you have literally not a big counterplay to that, you know? Because you have no mounted hero. I mean, you do have a mounted hero, but it's gonna be the Witch King of Angmar for 5,000 resources. And that's not an option early game. You cannot do that. And besides that, you have like no catch potential. And they, as long as they keep running away from you, they will keep shooting you. And they are countering cavalry. So they will counter your 650 units, the Snow Trolls. And look at them. They are shooting... And you cannot really engage, because when you engage, they're gonna just run away, you know, they're gonna disengage. The counter push is happening though. The Forge Works is coming up. It's gonna be a level 3 Forge into the Silverton Arrows. And for me, that's one of the most OP combos in the game. If you get Silverton Arrows on this Lindens, I'm telling you guys, that's kind of busted. It feels like you have the Mirkwoods on a horse. That's how strong it feels like. Oh, but if he can destroy it, it's gonna be a different story. Does he have Warchant? Yeah, he does have Warchant, but he needs to use it defensively too. I mean, you cannot really use it here. The Forge is just too tanky. 4,500 HP with level 2. It will take you ages to destroy. Look the Lindens. They are kind of slaughtering those Snow Trolls. And only one of them. Imagine if all of them come back. And they are coming back right now. Holy moly. 4 against 2. And look at them, they cannot even play the game anymore, dude. How fair is that? Archers which are countering horses. Holy moly. And again, they cost 650 each. 650. Level 3 incoming. Yeah. Elven player has so much money now, he can do whatever he wants. He's gonna go for the Silverton Arrows. He has almost the power points for the Mist too. And this combo is going to make you win every single fight. Like the Silverton Arrows, I believe it's the best upgrade on an archer unit in the game when it comes to fight against units. It doesn't deal damage to the buildings, but it slaughters units. Like, now you might say, but he has so many pikemen on the field, which is true, but you will see what happens once those Lindens have the Silverton Arrows. The pikemen of the Angmar faction, this weak tier 1 pikemen, they don't stand a chance at all. There comes the Beautiful micro from Smokey. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. He's gonna get it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh! Don't forget about me, Felvin. But a little bit too... I don't know. Just shoot them. Just shoot them. Mist is debuffing them, making them lose a lot of their armor. And when the Lindens are gonna be able to shoot, just shoot. Look at this. Just shoot, man. Come on. They're just chilling. They're doing nothing else. Look at this. Good luck dealing with this, dude. Good luck dealing with this. The Wolfpacks, they think they have a chance, but they don't. Oh, the damage output is gonna be nasty. Watch this. Look this. Yeah, you can kite all the time. The second they come close to you, you can disengage. They can never catch up to you. And I legit don't know how Angmar can counter that. Maybe archers, maybe Dark Rangers, maybe Felwind, and then you need to be lucky to be around with the pikemen. And once the pikemen are... And that's the most impressive part about them, right? Because they can just be like a horseman. They can just trample you. Okay, Angmar still getting a lot of money from the map though. That's very, very good. Look, the command point differential. 575 command points versus 775. So that's what's gonna happen in a map like this. And the weakness of these units is the lack of damage against buildings. So they cannot really compete for the map control. They can kill armies, they can kill units, yes. But they cannot really deal damage to the buildings, even not with the Silverton arrows. It will take you ages to destroy one resource building. And he's spamming them all the time. He went also for the Elven armor to make them a bit more tanky. But it's very hard for the Angmar player to actually play the game. He will feed power points unwillingly. You cannot really do much about that. The Elven armor is gonna make them tanky enough so they can just sit there now. They don't even need to kite anymore. They can sit there and shoot at your face all the time. Again, I believe the only proper counter to this one is going to be the Witch King, because Witch King is a mounted hero, is going to counter these kind of units. And Witch King being quite tanky against arrows too, I don't think they will deal too much damage to the Witch King. But Witch King, again, costs you 5k. So I don't see him getting to this point anytime soon. Because Morgomir, Voldor, and even Karsh, they're melee heroes on foot. And you have like no catch potential. Look at the damage they are dealing to the lair. It's so bad. It's gonna go... Oh! Hold on a second though. I didn't pay attention to the money of the Angmar. He went for the Witch King indeed. And that's the reason why map control is so important, boys. 850 command points for Angmar. He has so many mills out there. And he was able to recruit the Witch King. That's dope. And now what you need also are heal trolls. Heal trolls, they are definitely way tankier than those pleb Rudaur spearman units from the Hall of the Kingsman level 1. And I believe the combination you need is to get the heal trolls with the Dark Rangers. That's gonna be the very strong combination. The Dark Rangers with the ice arrows especially can actually slaughter those Lindens. And the Witch King can chase them down all the time. He went only for Lindens. He's trying to win the game with Lindens exclusively, but that's not gonna be happening. Because you need some sort of melee damage. Maybe he's trying to get for the power points, but he has not even a barracks on the field anymore. Remember, he went for the early barracks around this area, but the barracks got destroyed, and he didn't even bother rebuilding it. So Smokey, playing with only a stable level 2, and doesn't even recruit any normal lancers. He just spams them. Spams them. But there comes the Witch King. So that's gonna be the case when you move all of them together. The movement speed they will take is gonna be from the unit which is the slowest. That's why you shouldn't move your mounted heroes with like melee infantry units, you know. And he went also for Voldor for leadership. Yeah, heal trolls, that's gonna be important. And next step should be upgrades. Give them the heavy armor, and they will become unkillable. He's going for the push now, and I'm curious if and how the Elven player is planning to defend this. Because the Witch King with level 2 has a very strong debuff, which will make them lose a lot of their damage output and armor. Right? And you have Felwind too. Remember, this Witch King has splash damage. So what you can do is you Felwind them, and the Witch King is able to attack, but he's kind of getting body blocked by his own units. When Witch King is able to attack them when they are clumped, you can deal massive damage. The Felwind was kind of unnecessary in my opinion. You should be a bit more patient with that, because the real army is around this area. Double well for the regeneration. He has to now build the barracks. He needs some pikemen Otherwise, this Witch King can do whatever he wants to. Almost level 2 for the debuff. 1000 command points for Angmar and 700 command points for Smoky. This game isn't over yet. There comes the Rallying Call, the Hill Trolls, which are apparently a counter to the Cavalry, but they cannot do anything. Bad trample into the Spearman. He actually lost a lot of his units. What are going to be the power points you need to choose? Maybe the best choice is going to be actually, when I think about it, you know what the best choice is? Not the Whites, not the Orcs, he needs to go for the Frozen Land. The Frozen Land can be very nice. You get leadership and your enemy losing movement speed. Because Orcs, they can get just trampled. And then, I mean, he's going to go for the Orcs regardless, but you need Pikemen to protect them. Okay, the Witch King is behind. Witch King is looking to, you see, the Witch King is putting so much pressure on him. They have armor and everything, but they are still scared of the Witch King, which kind of makes sense. Elven player isn't able to stand and shoot. The Witch King is going inside the jeans. Oh my goodness! Did you guys see this, dude? How many units did he kill with one strike? No way! Holy guacamole! He just slaughtered like 3 battalions with one hit. He got from level 1 all the way to level 4. Look how the Witch King is popping off, dude. Nice, man. Nice. Here's not even the Morgul bleed, Morgul corruption. Dude, that was juicy, man. You love to see that. You see those heroes with splash damage, they are countering these clumped armies from the Elven faction especially. And that was the reason why, for example, a few patches ago, the Sharku was such a great counter to the Elven faction too, because he has also splash damage. He could just go inside the jeans and just one shot and kill like tens of units at the same time. Look at the clump. If Witch King attacks them one single time here, look, he cannot fight him back. You cannot shoot him because you don't deal that much damage to him. Oh man. Look, he's so tanky. He has 6900 HP. Yeah. You need to kite. But again, kiting is like, I'm telling you, now the plan should be going for the upgrades and going for the catapults too. Because trust me, that one, these units, they don't deal too much damage to the catapults. As long as you have pikemen around them to protect the catapults, they will have to stand still and shoot, which gives you lots of opportunities. You can go for the Felwind once they stand to kill your catapults. They have to kill them because otherwise your catapults are gonna slowly but surely take down the RBs. And if they don't kill them, you win the game. If they wanna kill them, you Felwind and kill the army. So it's a win-win situation in my book. But go for the armor upgrade first, the heavy dark iron mail on your hill trolls, and even on your snow trolls it can be very efficient. But in the meantime, the Witch King is just like the best investment. I was talking about that. I told you guys the Witch King is legit the only thing that can kind of shut down the Elven playstyle at this point. It's the first mounted hero, and the reason why he was able to recruit him is because of the map. The map, he was getting so many... Oh! Hold on. Oof. Do it. Oh, one more auto attack would be amazing. The Screech is gonna be available very soon too. The Felwind into the Witch King. Witch King is also hitting like a truck, by the way. Like literally, he has like 5000 melee damage. I mean 486, but I believe like even with heavy armor they get one-shotted from the Witch King. 12 power points. The 15 is gonna lead you to the Giant Summon. With the Giants you have like a siege potential, but you need some armor on this hill trolls. That's very important, and he's gonna get it. So, no Hall of the Kingsman level 2, not level 3, no ranges anytime soon. He's trying to win the game with melee units exclusively. Extroverts, they are outdated now. They are only good for at the beginning of the game. They kind of fall off in the mid to late game. And what the Elven player needs are pikemen. He needs a lot of pikemen. And the pikemen, the way you want to position them is you want to put them inside your Horse Archer army. Because look at the army from the Elven player. He has like full population with exclusively Horse Archer units. Maybe Eagle could be nice because he has like 0 shooters, so...
I will represent the men of Gondor.
You know what I mean. Thanks for the follow, appreciate that. Is it possible to make a Lebanon version 2 for 4v4 in 2.22? Like, unfortunately, it's not that easy, you know. You cannot just copy a map and put it in BFME 1, because the Vault Builder from BFME 1 has by far not the same stuff that you do have in BFME 2 Rise of the Witch King. So, it's not that easy. And also the map layout is very different. Remember, in BFME 1 you have a giant castle, which takes a big chunk of the map. In BFME 2 Rise of the Witch King you don't have that. Like, this is the entire castle. In BFME 1 the castle would be literally like that, for example. Like this, you know, like... Takes a little bit too much of your map. Okay, heavy armor purchase on this hill trolls. Witch King very close to level 6. And the Elven player finally taking care of the minimap. There is a level 3 mill. I mean, are you kidding me? There are like multiple level 3 mills, and that's the reason why Angmar is so rich. He went for the frozen land, and that's again a very questionable move from my personal, in my personal opinion, it's a very questionable move. You are at 13 power points after the Orc Summon, and you go for the frozen land. It will slow you down. The thing is, Blight is not a good choice. Blight isn't very good in this situation, because the Lancers, they are fast enough to get away from the Blight. So what you can eventually do, when I think about it, you can Felwind them, frozen land them, and then Blight them. So you Blight first, then you Felwind them so they get kind of grouped in one location, and when they want to run away, you will use frozen land so they lose a lot of their movement speed. Maybe that's the way to go. Look, even with the heavy armor,
the men of Gondor.
they're getting, oh my, you cannot play the game, dude. It's just too much. LG, thanks for the follow, appreciate that. Just kite and yeah, kite them to death. This army is just too big, you know? The creep, that's gonna be the last creep of the map. Never mind, I lied, there is another one. Big pushes incoming, frozen land is gonna be used offensively for the leadership part. There comes the Cloud Break to stun the enemy units. There is no fear resistant. The only way you can get fear resistant in this game as Angmar, you need to get Karsh to level 5, I believe. Okay? He's trampling down the extroverts, very, very smart move. The Witch King is here and saying, no, you shall not pass. More corruption is available. Is he gonna commit on the fortress? Is he just trying to win the game? I mean, very smart move from Smoke. He used the Cloud Break to buy him some time, and then he wanna use the time to build wall-ups exclusively around the fortress, which kind of blocks the movement of these units. So they, oh, there comes the Felwind. The Witch King is going ham. Witch King, level 7, and once again, look at the army. He was killing with one strike of his black sword. And they cannot stop. They cannot stop. They have to keep moving. He went for the upgrade on the fortress with the laser arrows, so you can see the arrows are chunking, even the arrow from the level 3 armory, for example, and also the level 3 stable, they are hurting a lot. The Lindens, they are running. They have no good time against the Witch King. Witch King is just on the hunt. But the fortress is going to be defended, at least for now. The armory is going to be taken down though. Remember, there is no rebuild potential for the Elven faction. And the Hill Trolls should be able to finish it off. That means the other units, they won't get the chance to have the upgrades like heavy armor. And oh, there comes the Giants, I mean. You want to close the game. The pikemen in position to body block the enemy Lancers. The Lancers, the Riders are getting chased by Witch King. They cannot play the game anymore since the Witch King is on the field. He's not even trying to bother to kill him. The Giant is going to be taken down, but the fortress is falling into darkness, and the Witch King is a true MVP of the game, number 3. Look at him slaughtering, look at them crashing. He has even the Hour of the Witch King unlocked from the ability, which doesn't really do much. I mean, it's going to be uncontrollable fear a little bit, but it's not very effective against non-heroes. He has Legolas on the field. All of that doesn't really matter against Witch King. Maybe Trandul could be a better choice, but the last production building falls. Nope, I lied, that's not the last production building. He has one more somewhere on the map. Where did he build? He's building the fortress again. Smokey is like, this game isn't over until I say it's over. The Giant, one of them is remaining, but he has not much time left in Middle Earth anymore. Now the Angmar player has to see and watch where the fortress is. Until the fortress is back on the menu, you cannot use your power points. So he is not aware, he doesn't know, he's just looking around to find the one builder who is trying to get the Elven player Mrs. Mock back into the game. But is this gonna be possible? The level 3 mill is shooting and defending itself. I mean, that's the main reason why Smokey is losing this game, even though he was hardcore winning. And the reason why Smoke was able to get Witch King on the field is because of the immense amount of map control he got. Like, he had literally the full right side for tens of minutes untouched. He will be able to find the fortress, but he has no army to destroy it. The Witch King is getting shot in the face. That is also Rogash! The one hit to rule them all. Dude, these two heroes, I'm telling you, you cannot stop against them. You can just, when you play Angmar in this situation, you can just group your Witch King and your Rogash. You just right click on the Lancers of your opponent, and then you can do whatever you want in the meantime, because the second they stop, they will get slaughtered. There comes the screech from the Witch King. Everybody is running into different locations. The commitment on the fortress. Is this gonna be it? I mean, he has no power points for anything. He might try to go for the Eagles. Eagles can eventually buy you some time, but look at the damage they are dealing with the Forge Blades and heavy armor. They are being so tanky. The fortress will come up, but the question is, how long will it be able to stay? is the Elven army is getting slaughtered. He has almost 5,000 in the bank. He might go even for one more fortress. He has money, but he has no army. Legolas is the only man, only hero. He went for the arrow volley. Arrow volley will be used and casted on these units. It will chunk them, but the Angmar player doesn't want to stop. He want to keep moving as the Mongol corruption is going to end Legolas live. Level 9 Witch King. There comes the Frozen Land, and Mrs. Smog has been defeated for the first time in this series. The score is going to be 2-1. Still in favor of Mrs. Smog, and we're going to jump right into the game number 4. GG, well played. The game number 4, but this used to be the hardest matchup in the game in the version 8.5. And I know they made some adjustments to this matchup to make it more playable, but this matchup was even banned from the previous tournament because it was just so unfair. You know, Goblins against Mordor, Goblins against Angmar, Goblins even against Elves. It was really bad. But we will see. Now the changes they've implemented into this new beta, which is supposed to make this matchup way better for the Goblin faction. Okay, Goblins for the first time of the day, by the way. 2 tunnels into the Goblin Cave. On the other side, we see Angmar building up 2 mills into the Hall of the Kingsmen. You're saying nice matchup. But I'm pretty certain that this matchup is a bit more playable now. Again, I have not taken a look into the changelog. I don't even know what they changed about this matchup. But we shall see. The good thing is that we saw the Angmar of the Witch King hitting like a truck. Yeah, Hello just joined. Does it mean Goblins are weak? They used to be weak, you know, in the previous patches at least. And again, I have not seen them in this version yet, but I know that they've been trying to make this matchup much more playable. And again, we might see that now. But again, you know, one game is not enough to judge the full matchup. It kind of depends on multiple different factors. Also, a map is gonna be an important factor, you know, to judge a matchup. The Goblin faction, for example, is a faction in the game that is stronger in bigger maps. Like on a map like Vestfold or Jungles of Fararat, you can do much more shenanigans than on a small map like... I mean, this is not a small map, to be honest. It's like a medium-sized map, but it's nothing close to the Vestfold or Jungles of Fararat, for example, you know? Okay, so it's gonna be a Goblin spam, 2 Goblin Caves. For me, I mean, again, that's my personal opinion. I believe the main reason why Goblins are not the best matchup, best faction in the game. Like they have great amount of power points, right? They have the best power point spellbook from all the factions. They have the chance to summon the Balrog, and they have the chance to summon the best summon in the game, which is the Dragon. They can go for the Spider summon, for the Whiteman summon, for the Darkness, for the Watcher. They have like multiple different options in the spellbook. That's not the problem, but I believe the problem is the archers. Like they have only one archer, which are not very strong, you know, in the game. And that's the reason why they struggle against those big army fights. You know, in an army against army fight, they always struggle because the archer is the main damage dealer of an army. And when you have like pleb archers, you cannot really win the fight. The pikemen are moving forward with the Gundabad orcs. In the meantime, we have one more squad coming. So it's going to be a spam against spam situation. Goblins, they cost 100. They are the second cheapest units in the game after the orc warriors. They cost only 80, and they also cost you 40 command points, while orcs cost you only 30. Okay, there comes the first squad. But I believe what they did was they nerfed the HP of the resource buildings, which makes it a little bit better for the goblins to deal economical damage. There comes the war chant, but will he be able to defend himself? The answer is no. He will be definitely losing this one behind. This one, when you kill the Trollmaster, maybe you can defend it. Use Poison Bleeds, maybe. It's gonna be close. Kill the Trollmaster fast. Fast. Uh-oh. Oh, no. That's very unfortunate. Oh, that's bad. It might be actually a GG early game, you know? He lost every single resource building to one single push. And Angmar went for the Black Numenorians, which are now officially the best swordmen in the game. They got changed because the change they did is to the Death Mask. So now, when they are level 2 or level 3, they have the charge attack and the Death Mask available at the same time. So they can buff themselves and they can debuff the enemy units passively, which makes them OP in every aspect of a swordman fight. But again, they are countered by archers, they are countered by cavalry, just makes them a very strong swordman, but that's pretty much it. But they also cost now 500, which is again the most expensive swordman in the game. I mean, it's a very awkward situation now for the Goblin player because he has still some talents on the field, but the most important tunnel is always the tunnel you build here. Normally what you see is you see a tunnel and you see a Goblin cave left and the right to it. The reason is simple. You want to protect the tunnel. That's going to be the most important tunnel because the tunnel is going to be used for the Goblins coming out of the Goblin cave. The second they come out, they can enter the tunnel and then they can teleport to a different location. Look at the damage from the Black Numenorians. Hitting like a truck. And they're also looking very sexy to me. Look at them. Okay, there comes another squad. Extroverts and also the Black Numenorians. Spider Pit is required. You need Spider Riders to counter that. You can, I mean, I believe at this point of the game, the one Black Numenorian can literally take care of like 3-4 goblins by himself. Easily. Charge will be used. The tunnel, the Goblin Cave, look at this damage, dude. That's some serious damage right there. And they have the Death Mask with level 2. Death Mask. Look at them. I mean, to be fair, the production buildings of the Goblins are not very tanky. They have only 1500 HP. So taking them down is not the biggest achievement in the world. But still, look at the slaughtering. The Black Numenorians. Nah, I think there is nothing he can do. He's trying to survive by building multiple offensive tunnels all around the map. But what is the counterplay to that? I think you can only kill them effectively with the Spider Riders. Not even your half-troll Sportman can do anything about them. There comes the War Chant. The Goblin Cave. Getting taken down in like 2 seconds. The Builder is gonna be also taken down right after. And he might be even able to commit on the Fortress. I want to see this actually. 2 Black Numenorians against the Fortress. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They are dealing great amount of damage, dude. They're actually chunking it. He's gonna go for Orc Summon 2. Just to finish off the Fortress. That's gonna be the quickest game in this tournament so far. The Goblins, he went for the Cave Trolls. Oh, Cave Trolls could also do that actually. Yeah, Cave Trolls can also deal with them. But the Fortress is gonna fall. Yep. Uh-oh. He has a Goblin Cave somewhere. He has a fissure somewhere. But where? Let me see. Tunnel. Okay. He's not gonna say a word and he's gonna leave the game. And that's gonna be the end of this best of 5. Smog was able to win it 3-1. And he's gonna move to the semifinals while Smog is gonna drop down to the losers bracket. GG, well played.